Doctors, we can't seem to live without them. We definitely can't afford them. Hi, my name is Todd. I want to thank you for tuning back into the Teal Jack channel one more time. I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch one more of my videos. The video I got for you today has to do with a very recent doctor visit I had myself. Now, I won't get into all of my medical issues in this video at all, but let's just say that I live in chronic pain. Not so long ago, I was having really hard back spasms that just would not let up. And typically when they get that bad, I end up seeing my doctor. And in the past, I would get my script refilled for Tylenol 3, also known as codeine, and cyclobenzaprine. One's a painkiller, the other one's the muscle relaxer. All of that to help get my back from being so locked up and to end the spasms so I could get back to stretching, exercises, living life, so to speak. I have never taken the codeine to such an extent to be addicted, and I very rarely took it at the dose that I was actually prescribed in the past. Now, since I've been here in Portland, I have now been through at least 4 doctors. One of them, the very first one, who reinstated my codeine prescription from when I lived in Medford and moved to Portland. And I regularly checked in with him and periodically did drug testing, mostly just to see that I still had the drugs in my system and that I wasn't actually taking the pills and selling them off by being clean from the codeine. And then he retired and I got another doctor, and within one visit, I was not happy with that guy. He wanted to pick on my weight, but didn't bother to see that I had been dropping weight from 143 pounds, and at that point I was around 200 pounds. So I had been losing weight, and he decided to tell me that I need to exercise and lose weight, but he didn't bother to actually look at my history and all the swimming that I do and the changing of my diet to get my weight back down to what I would call a more normal weight. So I only saw him for one visit, and then I got transferred to another doctor who I really liked. And for the next several years, I saw him regularly, at least twice a year. I get my codeine refilled. It was always on hand. If I had spasms, all I had to do is call up his office and he would fill the script right away, and I didn't have to live in excruciating pain. And when I mean excruciating pain, pain so badly that I can't sit up, I can't stand up. I literally have to crawl on the floor because I just can't function with the spasms. And he was really good at taking care of me in those regards. And again, never did I take the drugs to enough to get addicted. Number one, with my past history of being a paramedic, I never wanted to become addicted to the codeine. So I always took it at a lower dose. He usually prescribed it 1 to 2 pills about every 4 to 6 hours. And I would usually take maybe 1, maybe 2 pills per day, and that was it. And my script usually was with 60 pills in a bottle. 9 times out of 10, that bottle would last me up to 6 months, and usually took 1 or 2 here or there sporadically through the week, the days, depending on how much pain I was in from my chronic pain, mostly at night and mostly to try and get sleep, because on average I get about 3 hours of sleep. With being on codeine, occasionally I would get up to 5, maybe 6 hours. Well, COVID hits, and my doctor decides he's going to move his practice to an entirely different city that is a good distance away from Portland. And I don't blame him, because he wanted to be closer to his house, so he wasn't driving at least 2.5 hours every single day just to come to and from work. So I don't blame him for that. So then I got passed on to another doctor during COVID, and I was not happy with this guy. I ended up having a Zoom meeting that lasted 5 minutes by my clock. Now, mind you, the doctor's office billed me for 20 minutes. And by the clock on my computer, I didn't talk to him for more than 5 minutes. And he charged me $168, and I was livid and did not want to see him again. So I didn't go back, and I hadn't gone back as long as COVID was in place, because they want you to wear the stupid mask in the office. And of course, the mask causes me to have shortness of breath. And I'm not going to get into my stance on how they work or don't work. But let's just say I'm not happy with the mask situation, and I'm not one of those that wants to wear one, because number one, like I said, with my respiratory condition, I get extremely short of breath when I was forced to have to wear one of those stupid things. So I didn't go into his office. And so over the year, the 2-year period-ish, he refused to fill the codeine prescription. And I dealt with 2 years of steady back spasms without really any relief from them. And the only relief I would get would be through my exercises and time. And through every time I'd get those spasms, I would not sleep at all. Wouldn't sleep a wink at all. Not 1 hour. And it was an absolute nightmare. But again, I refused to go in the office because of the stupid mask mandate that our dumb dictator governor decided to put on the state. So that brings me to the release of, let's just say, the governor's mandates. And I chose to go in and see a doctor because I was out of my respiratory medication that I need to breathe on a regular basis. Now, I got a respiratory condition as a direct result of my years of firefighting. And so I need a medication that allows me to breathe and to live normally without shortness of breath, without difficulty breathing. Or in the case of paramedic school, dyspnea and SOB. So I contacted the doctor's office, and my wife convinced me, because I was also having another round of bad spasms. So she convinced me that I need to go back in and see the doctor. So I agreed, and I chose to go into the doctor's office to be seen, even though I had to put on that stupid mask for a while and got short of breath. I took it off when I was in the office by myself. Now, to paint the picture, I was in that office for at least an hour. I saw the doctor no more than 10 minutes. She did a very fast physical, tapped my knees, listened to my lung sounds, and asked what I was in for. And I specifically told her that I've been having regular spasms so badly that I end up having to crawl on the floor to even get to the bathroom, to go to the bathroom. And it was extremely painful. And so I told her, I says, I'm in to get my prescription for codeine refilled and my prescription for cyclobenzapine refilled. And so after a period of conversation and asking me some other questions, she told me that she would submit the prescriptions and they would be available in my pharmacy. And I left roughly 10 minutes. Well, just the other day, yesterday in fact, we had a snow day, and my wife came to me with this bill right here. This is the bill from the doctor's office. From the doctor's office that I have been going to for 10 years. And here's the bill. I will show you a up-close picture of this bill so you can actually see it. But what this bill is listed as establishing a patient. Now, I understand I was new with her, but I've been in that office for 10 plus years. I am not a new patient and shouldn't be billed for establishing a new patient. You want to know what the bill came to? Well, $482, of which my insurance company, which is really pathetic under my wife's school insurance, only covers rough $146, somewhere around there. I can't see without my grannies on. I think it's $146. But we meaning my wife and I, were left with a bill for $336. Never in my life have I ever been billed by a family practice doctor for nearly $500 for a 10-minute conversation, listen to lung sounds, tap on the knees, and I'm out of there in 10 minutes. If you can't tell, I'm livid. This is what doctoring in the United States has come to. You serve in their office, go to their office for 10 plus years. You get bumped around between doctor to doctor. Some mostly due to the fact that the doctors I like left the office, so then I get one and I really don't like him, so then they give me another one. And I'm getting established a new patient billing. And my wife talked at the office. They said, well, this is part of the coding and that's why the bill is the way it is. Well, no, the coding's done because that's what they coded it. And it's ridiculous. And what recourse is there for me to counter out this bill that we had to pay $336, of which was a total of $486? It's unbelievably ridiculous that for 10 minutes, I'm charged nearly $500. That's almost lawyer fees. Now, my own uncle that's here in Portland typically charges around $400 an hour, and that's an hour's worth of work. This was a lousy 10-minute conversation, her listen to some lung sounds, use a hammer on my knee to check for reflexes, and then sent me on my way telling me she will fill my prescriptions. And what chaps my hide is when we finally get the notification from the pharmacy that my prescriptions are ready to be refilled. She didn't even refill my codeine. So I got the cyclobenzaprine and used that to help get the muscles to relax, but I had nothing to control the pain. And even to this day, I have no codeine in my cupboard to help when I'm having a really bad, painful day, just to help take the pain level down from an 8 or a 10 down to at least a 4 or 5. I understand there's an opioid crisis or opioid crisis. And I know people are dying from fentanyl. But I'm not one that has ever abused the codeine that has ever been prescribed to me. And my doctor's records indicate that fact. So she charges me nearly $500 and then doesn't even give me the treatment that I went in asking for. I know of no recourse. I know of no way to bill them. I would love to be able to submit a bill for her for the time I sat in her office wasting my time. When I was in her office for an hour plus, but only saw her for roughly 10 minutes. And the nurse was in there and did a blood pressure and pulse check, verified my prescriptions, and then she was out the door in under 2 minutes. So I saw people in that office for roughly 12 minutes and I'm charged $500. I know we have inflation, and I know the Biden administration is driving the cost of everything up, but $500 to get a prescription refilled is absolute insanity. And I'd love to find a way to bill her back for my time that I sat in her office waiting for her to walk in the door. Sorry for the rant. This has me hot under the collar because of my chronic conditions. And we rely on my wife, and she's on teacher pay. And we live in Portland, not a very cheap place to live. Hopefully we'll have that changed here. We are looking to move somewhere else. She is currently looking for a job in a different school district, hopefully in a different state. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thanks for listening. Put some comment below if you had similar problems with doctors like this, because this is mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. That's the cost I get for 10 minutes. Not even a procedure done. I might be able to accept this if I had, I don't know, a whole handful of warts removed or had to go in for some stitches or something. I can understand a higher billing. But for a conversation on my back pain and to get a prescription refilled, $486 is ridiculous. Anyway, tell me what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. If you have made it this far in my video, I sincerely thank you for watching its entirety. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe button. Remember to hit like as well. And feel free to watch one of my other videos. I will post them down below. Thanks again for taking time out of your valuable day to watch my video. It sincerely means a lot to me. Take care, God bless. Feel free to leave your comments. We'll see you next time.